Hi, welcome to another episode and video on my Arduino Yun. Last time I wrote a small program which enables me to use it with a switch and an LED, actually two LEDs, because I'm using analog output pin 3 as an analog output for the LED, and that is a different one from this one because this pin mode 13 is the output for the LED on the Yun itself. Then I have output value 1 and a sensor value, which and in C I declare them to be 0. Then here in the actual program I assign the output of analog pin A0, excuse me, to a sensor value, and then I check if the output is 1. If so, I put the output value 1 to 0, and then I write here the value to analog output pin pin 3. So I make this LED go off. At the same time, as you see, digital write 13 becomes high, so I set that LED on. Then a delay of 1 second, and then everything goes the other way. I set the output value to 8, digital write to low, so while the onboard LED goes off, the extra LED goes on, and that for 2 seconds. And a condition for sensor value is 0. It just doesn't. So just if it is 1, it does this, and otherwise it doesn't. And then a delay for 2 seconds. So that is the purpose of the program, and last time I checked and it worked quite nicely. You could see that I put everything in the pins on the board itself. However, it didn't completely satisfy me, since everything was quite experimentally set up, and with my other projects I use a breadboard, so I have connected breadboard to the Yun as well now. A problem that does bring a problem, because everything has to be wired and wired and wired, jump wires, etc. Which also brings risks, because if a wire is not entirely connected while it looks connected, you get strange effects. So with all that said, let's take a look at how the circuit looks right now. So I have connected a breadboard to the Arduino Yun, and as you can see, these two wires are from 5 volts and the ground, and they are connected to the respective volts and ground lanes on the breadboard. This wire comes from A0, which is the analog pin in, and it is connected to the switch. Then the middle coming from the switch is connected to the resistor and connected to the ground, and then this one is connected to the 5 volts. The signal for the switch is connected to A0 through this wire, and then the extra LED, which is connected on the board to pin 3. So this is a lane 3, and with the LED connected to a resistor, which is connected again to the ground. And these wires show that, or make that, all the plus and minuses are wired through. Last time when I had everything connected still only to the Yun, it worked perfectly. So let me check if everything works, and if I press the switch, the red should either be off or on and not blink. And as you can see, red just keeps on blinking. So the question is, what does the LED? And right now in this way it is hard to see, so let me turn away the light. And I hope it is visible. Unfortunately, it is quite hard to watch it. We point it to the camera. Is it visible? It is hardly visible on camera, but I can assure you it is still blinking, which should not be the case. So that goes for the onboard LED and the and on breadboard LED. So the question is, why is it? Because I did not change the program, and as far as I can recall, it did work. So let me check the wires once again, if they're connected well enough. And when I take this one from the board, it stops working. And I put it in again, and it works. So that in itself is good. And now you see, oh, I thought for a moment it did work. Unfortunately, let's see, when I press it, the output value gets 0, and it gets high. So it should either stay on or stay off. Time to check on the code. So let's take a look at the code again. The problem is that I cannot in this case use a printout of the actual value, because for that I need the serial monitor, and in this case I don't have serial monitor, so that is a problem. What I can do is say add another pin and put an LED in that makes sure that it only burns when this value is 1, and which operates differently from this one. So let me put another const and analog out pin, and let me for that take 4. Then let me also say okay, int output value 2 is 0, and let me state that this is control LED if then this is the output value, although that would not really need it maybe, but we'll see. Output value for control LED. Then let's say do we do analog write? Yes, because we have here an analog output. Analog write analog out pin 4, and I want it as high as possible. Let me make it 512. Which would mean that I don't have need for this output value. So let me stick to this one if it works. And then I will put it like this: if sensor value is 0, analog write analog out pin 4 0. So that way I could see if and what is going on. So what I now have to do is finding an LED that I connect to the board to analog pin 4. Is that all that I need to do? Let's check it out. For now, yes, I think so. So let's go for it. upload. Of course, password. And it uploads via IP. So I'm fine with that. Let's check. So I have added another jump wire from the pin 4 to here. Oops, let me shine. From pin 4 to the board. An LED in between and a resistor to mass again. And as you can see, this LED shines very bright. And according to the code, it should shine bright if the sensor value is 1, which means that this is on now. If I press it, it should get off. Value would be 0, and then this LED should switch off, which happens, and it comes on again. So that makes no sense. And now it's off and on again. So it looks like it happens independently of this switch, because I'm holding it, pressing it, and look at this LED. It just changes value regardless of the switch. So there is something not quite right. Also, let me on the fly change the value that is needed for this LED, because this shines brightly and this doesn't. So I'm gonna change this value to 512 as well. And I will do so on the fly. I just need to upload the new value, compile and upload. So that's okay, done. I press it and it goes off and on again. However, this one shows no sign of brightness. None at all. And when I turn the light away, it doesn't do anything. So let me change that once again back. Back to 8 again. See if that makes it shine again. Alright. And it makes it shine again. I hope you can see it. Yeah, there you see it. So I wonder why this works and this doesn't, but anyway, I really want this switch to behave like it did last time, in the last episode. So I will have to find this out. Now the point is, of course, this is a digital switch. It's not an analog turn switch, but a digital one. So I probably also should change sensor value to something digital, and that actually sounds like a valid idea. let's see, it's analog, and this is analog and this is digital. So the question is, should I move this one to here? That's a good question. This one coming here, this one comes from here. If I put this one out in there as well, what will be the result? On the other hand, this is the signal wire. Yeah, let's try something. I am going to change the code a little bit because of the output value. I will change this according to and link it to sensor value. So I will take output value. Let me see. And I will map this to sensor value. Oops. As I did in other project as well with my Arduino Mega 2560. And then yet again, because I set it here to 0, I can use this, and I will actually say that I make actually another output value, which I think is a very good idea. So I will use here output value 1. So I had things in mind, but I'm changing it on the fly. And here, let's see, and an output value 2. Which I will make 0. So that means that I will put output value 1 here, 0 as well. This will be 1 and this will be 2. And here an analog output pin, and this will be output value 1 as well. So I will just copy paste, and in this way I will have a sensor value which is coming from A1, A0, then an output value that is directly dependent on it, and the output value is 2. Here I have I have turned things around now, I see, because I set it here to 0. That means that I have to put this to 2 and here to 1 if I want to be consistent with my own old coding. So let's do that. And this has to be maximum, so that is good. This was 0, this is 0, so value 2 here. This was not maximum, but anyway not 0, and this is not 0, so that's good, and this is not 0 either. And this is the check LED for when this sensor value is actually 0. However, with analog you can't really check for being 1 or 0, so this is still going to be an issue, and I will have to check for that. And while on that, I noticed something different on the circuit. So in the last part of this video, let's go back to the circuit and see what actually happens. So in the last part of this video, let's see if the code is an improvement. Then we'll it should be an improvement. However, is it? LED is burning. This is flickering, so I doubt that is an improvement. This LED isn't burning at all. Why is that not the case? Because the wiring is out. Let's click the switch. And you may notice that when I click the switch, the red LED ceases burning for more than 2 seconds. One, two, and there it is. And now I click the switch. 1. That doesn't sound like 2 seconds. And this is more than 2 seconds already. And it comes back. So somewhere there is something not exactly going as I intend. Either a piece of wiring, or which is slightly more likely, the if statement about sensor value being 1 or 0 is not quite accurate, and that should be entirely digital. And as you have noticed, sensor value isn't digital at all, because it's an analog reading. So I probably should change that. That said, if I click the switch, then this LED should give at least a hint of what's going on. And that is not, well, right now it's happening, but then again it switches on its own, and that is certainly not the intention. So in very short, I need to change my code. Having said that, it is much easier working with the breadboard than just on this board with the Yun. Since it is Internet of Things actually with Linux, it owns possibilities to do it in another way as well. Although I already do it in another way since it is on wireless network and not on serial. I would like to change that, by the way, so I can use a serial monitor over IP, and I found some information on that, so I'm going to apply that. And I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and have not subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. Then you will get updates on my other projects as well. If you like my videos, please consider to support my blog and videos by allowing advertisements in between the video segments, or visit my website, which is listed under this video, for another way of supporting my blog and videos. And again, thank you for watching, and to be continued.